tourists, and with that comes fewer parking spaces. What one city is doing to fix that problem, and how those solutions are affecting homeowners.
Also at 6, a car burglary has neighbors feeling uneasy, and the suspects are still on the loose. We'll give you the information to stay safe.
WMBF News at 6 starts right now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WMBF News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us here for WMBF News at 6. I'm Dyer Pace.
And I'm Kat Polofchek. It's been a busy day here in our newsroom. We start with Erica Young in the studio with breaking news.
A boat has capsized in Missouri. The tugboat was packed with tourists when it capsized and then sank in Table Rock Lake. We do not know the extent of the injuries yet, but we will keep you updated as soon as we get more information. Live in studio, Erica Young, WMBF News.
Well, good morning, guys. We're taking a live look at the beach this morning. We do have a couple clouds over the coast. Saw some rain showers this morning, but looking like a beautiful day over the beach. But we're taking a look at our rain chances for today in Myrtle Beach. Most of our rain we saw was earlier this morning, but around noon we do have a couple chances for some showers, and around 3, that's really when it'll start to calm down, and around dinner time staying clear as well. But in Florence, again, showers really coming around lunchtime, around 3 p.m. is really when they'll start to sit on over us, dumping lots of heavy rain out there. But if you're going to the beach today, high temperature 83 degrees with scattered showers. We also do have a rain risk for today, but more on your weekly forecast coming up.
New tonight, a car was stolen out of one family's driveway. This left residents thinking a Carolina Forest neighborhood isn't as safe as it usually is.
Matthew Cooper was able to talk to some of the victims of the crime who are now more aware of what can happen around their homes.
Just 4 months after a family moved into what they thought was a safe community right here in this neighborhood in the Carolina Forest, they fell victim to a car robbery. So Barra says his wife, 3 kids, and him will now have to live with some fear after their car was stolen in the middle of the night.
The front door was unlocked, and I'm not sure if the keys were inside the vehicle or inside the home. So it just scares me because, just like I said, we have 3 kids, and I'm scared now.
Zolt says this incident will not force him out of his new house in the farm, but will just make sure he's ready for a situation like this in the future by adding security items.
We're definitely gonna stay here. I guess we'll be more prepared, get some more security system up and get some cameras outside. Make sure we lock the doors.
While no other cars were stolen, some were broken into, including the bar's neighbor, Noah Sambuff, who says an incident like this will not deter him from a community that he loves.
Love the schools, we love the sports, the churches in the area, so we're very committed to being here. We've been down here 4 years from Boston. We love it, and we tell everybody to come on down, and it's a great, safe place. Unfortunately this happened, but it can happen anywhere.
The search is still on for one of the suspects in this robbery. If you have any information, please contact the Horry County Police Department. Reporting from Horry County, Matthew Cooper, WMBF News.
A man is recovering after he collapsed in knee-deep water. North Myrtle Beach spokesperson Pat Dowling says the man was pulled from the water near the 12th Avenue North and given CPR before he was taken to the hospital. The condition of the victim, who's reportedly in his late 60s or early 70s, is not known at this time. New tonight, a caretaker is facing charges for allegedly failing to administer a feeding tube to a patient for several days. Loris police say Charlie Powell is charged with the willful abuse of a vulnerable adult. On June 29th, an officer responded to a home on Pinewood Drive for a welfare check when they noticed the 6-year-old victim had lost weight since the last time he saw her. The victim told officers she hadn't eaten in several days, and Powell was the only person who knew how to feed her. The victim was evaluated at the hospital and was released to an Horry County Department of Social Services employee. Police need your help finding a purse-snatching suspect. Police say this person snatched a bag at the Boardwalk Resort located in North Ocean Boulevard 1 week ago. If you know who this is or have any information about this case, you are asked to call the police.
Police also need your help finding these 2 people wanted in connection with a burglary. Officers responded to an incident at Sea Mist Resort located on South Ocean Boulevard Sunday. The suspects fled the scene before police arrived. Again, if you have any information about any of these suspects, call Myrtle Beach Police. Close to 7,700 U.S. soldiers remain unaccounted for from the Korean War. About 5,300 of those were lost in North Korea. But that is starting to change. A U.S. military plane went to North Korea to retrieve 55 cases said to contain remains of soldiers. This is a big step in relations with North Korea and may even restart efforts to send more U.S. teams into the country to search for more war dead. After leaving North Korea, the plane touched down near South Korean peninsula of Seoul. From there, it will be off to Hawaii, where Mike Pence will be there to greet it. New tonight, a man and woman accused of beating a man to death with a baseball bat appeared before a judge in court today.
They claim they acted in self-defense and filed a stand your ground motion in the case. I went to court today to hear the arguments being made. The couple accused of killing Roy Davis could face a trial following a judge's decision to deny stand your ground immunity to the case. Diane Durkin and James Rosenbaum were charged with murder back in July of 2016 after Rosenbaum allegedly beat Davis with a baseball bat, ultimately causing his death. The couple believed they acted in self-defense as Davis was alleged to have raped Durkin after being invited inside their residence. During today's hearing, a recording of the 911 call Durkin made played back the sounds of the incident, including Davis's cries for help, repeatedly saying he could not move. Rosenbaum also was reported to have taken videos of Davis lying on a mattress and bleeding, saying he only took them to show the police. The judge's ruling states since the beating of Davis continued after he was no longer a threat to the couple, stand your ground immunity cannot be used in this case. Reporting to you from Conway, I'm Kat Palafchuk, WMBF News.
The Federal Aviation Administration is investigating after a tour plane crashed at the Grand Strand Airport this morning. Riley Benson spoke to witnesses, and he joins us just a few feet from where this crash happened, landing this morning.
Just after 11 a.m. when Executive Airlines' 23 years of perfect flying came crashing down.
I don't know whether it slid off the runway or it came down, he lost it and slid off the runway that way, I don't know.
It's a plane Tom Dorsey has seen take off and land thousands of times in the 3 years he shared his backyard with the airport.
Yeah, that's the biplane that they take people up in.
Dorsey was mowing his lawn. When the plane was attempting to land, that's when it went off the runway.
The fire trucks came through, and at first they went over this area, and then they realized that the plane was over here, and then they all shot across the field over here.
The pilot and 2 passengers made it out okay.
First time I've seen it since I've been here. It's always been quiet here. Nothing like that. Never had an incident here.
The aircraft is a World War II era Waco biplane. It started giving plane tours in Myrtle Beach in 1995. According to their website, Myrtle Beach Biplanes has a 100% safety record in the 23 years of flying along the Grand Strand.
Every day they take them up, all day long. They go across the ocean, and then they bring them back. It's only like a 5-minute ride.
Although this is the first crash Dorsey saw since he moved here, he says he won't take any chances flying.
I don't go up in no planes. I like the ground.
Now the FAA is still investigating the cause of this morning's crash. Reporting live in North Myrtle Beach, Riley Benson, WMBF News.
A man in North Myrtle Beach outraged because the city is allowing people to park in what he believes is his driveway. Maddie Lee spoke with the man today, and she joins us from Perrin Drive.
The city is removing obstructions in front of people's homes to make room for parking, but the man at this home says the city not only removed items from his yard, but they also put up these signs.
It's not right.
Scott Litteken says when city manager Mike Mahaney came to remove signs from his yard, he told Litteken his driveway was too wide.
They just showed up and said, you get this 24 feet.
Litteken says people started parking in front of his home, blocking cars in, once these new signs were put up.
Yesterday, we had the police called out here because a large truck was parked there blocking the vehicles in.
This pavement was not put here by Litteken. He says it was built years before he moved in.
The dwelling and concrete was permitted in 1959.
According to Horry County land records, he's right. In 1959, 171 square feet were allowed, and then another pavement permit was issued in 1992 for 2,400 feet of cement on the other side of the house. We measured the concrete around his yard. This is 49. Now let's go this way. That was 48 feet. We took the information to city spokesman Pat Dowling to find out why this driveway is not allowed, even though there are permits that show otherwise.
They may have issued a permit to build a deck, a concrete deck, on the surface of the ground, but it is not a driveway. The driveway is on the other side on Holly, and it's clearly visible on Google Earth.
But Littikin's address and mailbox are Perrin Drive. When I asked why the city issued the address on the back of the home,
2 roads that it straddles. On one side it's Perrin Drive, on the other side is Holly. There is no driveway that's a permitted driveway on Perrin Drive.
Littikin isn't the only one who's had items removed from his yard. Dowling said that the city has removed dozens of items to make room for parking. In North Myrtle Beach, Maddie Lee, WMBF News.
It was hard to miss military helicopters flying over the skies today. Soldiers from the U.S. Army Operations Command in Fort Bragg participated in an exercise off the coast of the North Strand. Elena Barilla has more on that training.
It was a memorable moment on the sand here today. Soldiers out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina, parachuted out of helicopters as hundreds watched from the shore in awe. Pamela Brown has seen her husband jump out of a Black Hawk helicopter multiple times.
Just to support my husband and what he does for the Army.
But the military jumps she's seen over the years have never been in a location quite like this.
We heard that he was jumping in Myrtle Beach. We automatically said, oh, okay, we're going to go down and watch this one.
A camera in hand, Brown was ready to capture the moment alongside hundreds of other people. Some drawn to the beach to see soldiers jump out of helicopters, others stumbling upon the experience.
We're on vacation here at North Myrtle Beach, and we didn't actually know that this was going to take place, this maneuver, but it's been real exciting.
That excitement couldn't be dampened by a brief downpour of rain. Soldiers in groups of 6 made the jump into the water, met by a Zodiac boat to bring them to shore. The training exercise meant to create a realistic environment one soldiers would be carrying out their missions in.
Several months ago, the U.S. Army Special Operations Command contacted us and said that they would like to come to North Myrtle Beach and practice special operations soldiers jumping and coming ashore techniques.
After months of planning, the operation today carried out in front of a crowd filled with families and strangers alike, eager to see the soldiers walk onto the beach.
My kids really ecstatic because they're able to play in the ocean before they see Daddy jump, and then they're going to see him come in on the boat up to the beach, so it's really exciting.
And with one final hug, training mission accomplished. North Myrtle Beach Public Information Officer Pat Dowling says while there's no talks of another military exercise happening here again next summer, he does hope the city will plan something in the future. Reporting from North Myrtle Beach, Elena Barilla, WMBF News.
A favorite vacation spot is getting a facelift for the new Murrells Inlet 2020 project. Travis Woolman went to Murrells Inlet to check it out.
So it's definitely been a huge learning experience, but it's all happening. It's moving. It's moving a little slower than we anticipated.
Bike path will also allow bicyclists to have a safer route while bike riding by giving them a 5-foot buffer between the main road and the bike path.
So with the new bike path eye to eye, it's going to be a 5-foot buffer in majority of the places, so I'm a little bit closer, but it's going to be set off from the road. It's going to be its own path, so it's going to be much safer for families and for people to use.
Local bicyclist Jerry Lynn, who is a part of the local bike clubs in Pawleys Island and Myrtle Beach, knows how important a buffer is while riding.
Yeah, that's why we're taking this trail, because it's in the woods and it's all through the woods away from the traffic, so we like that. I've been in a biking accident with a vehicle before, broke my arm in 2 places, so safety is really important.
This project was expected to start in early 2018, but due to permit issues and having to go through 3 different governing bodies to receive the permits, they are hoping the project will start as late as October.
We can go straight to construction. The first phase is 1 mile, and that 1 mile is along SCDOT-owned roads, private roads, county roads, so we're having to go through all the different permitting for all 3 governing bodies.
Owner of Cyclopedia, John Stone, has been around bikes his entire life and thinks a bike path is going to positively affect the local community.
The economic benefits are huge. It is an attraction for people to come here to ride bikes. If there was no bike riding, you'd see many, many fewer tourists.
Stone also says that the bike path with the buffer will help families with small children be able to ride and stay safe.
It is. You can't ride on 17. It's just simply too busy. and you know, especially families with young children, they're not going to risk riding in the traffic. So the bike path is a way of getting around.
The project is scheduled to start as late as October, but residents believe it's worth the wait. Reporting live in studio, Travis Willman, WMBF News. A band that got their start at the Bowery is now headlining the Carolina Country Music Festival. Find out who that is and what it means for the Bowery owner. That's coming up next at 6. A little over a month ago, country music fans from across the U.S. were here for the Carolina Country Music Festival. The headliners for next year's fest are already being announced, and one of them got their start right here in the Grand Strand. Alabama was the Bowery's house band for 7 years before going on to sell more than 80 million albums. The 2019 festival will be June 6th through the 9th, and tickets are already on sale. We'll keep you updated when more of those headliners are announced.
The real Riley Benson, bro.
Tourist boat that capsized in Missouri, 13 people have been confirmed dead and 7 others have been taken to hospital. Search and rescue is still on the scene along with investigators to find out how this could have happened. We will keep you up as we get more information. Live in studio, Erica Young, WMBF News.
Former Columbia police chief is facing drug charges after a fugitive was found in his home. Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott says methamphetamine was found in Randy Scott's bedroom after they arrested a man who failed to appear in court on drug charges. Scott was Columbia's police chief for 3 years before resigning in April of 2013. His attorney said there was no evidence that the drugs were his and he was just trying to help someone who needed assistance.
If you're looking to buy a new home in the Market Common or Grand Dunes area, you're in luck. New houses are being built in those areas as well as smaller residential districts. Over the past fiscal year, which just ended on June 30th, the city of Myrtle Beach has issued more than 580 building permits for new single-family homes within city limits. That's 2 more homes than last year. This increase is due to the Myrtle Beach Metropolitan Statistical Area being the second fastest growing MSA in the country.
Summer brings more time at the beach, and we'll tell you what you need to know to stay safe in the water. That's coming up next at 6.
Rain just might seem to be going away right now. Taking a look at the radar, we do have a couple showers over King Street and the South Strand, but Myrtle Beach and Florence, just a few clouds, being mostly clear at the moment. But I'll let you know when you'll need to take that umbrella out for today. Right now, staying clear, mostly some clouds, some showers, but around lunchtime, that's really when those showers will start to come in over Hartsville, Bennettsville, Myrtle Beach, Georgetown, but they should start to clear out, especially around dinner time. You won't really need your umbrella as much around then, but tonight, definitely staying clear. A few spotty showers, definitely not out of the question. But if you're already looking ahead into the weekend, well, Friday will be your best chance for showers, but Saturday and Sunday, no rain right now in the forecast, staying warm in the high 80s and into the PD as well. We're also seeing those warmer temperatures. Friday, again, our best chance for showers, but going into the low 90s, definitely nice outside, but with all that rain, we're also seeing heat and humidity Friday. That's when we'll be in the stickier range, but Sunday and Monday reaching oppressive at times, so you'll definitely need to bring your water as it'll be pretty gross out there and everything and whatnot. Yeah.
Whether you're a Myrtle Beach local or just here on vacation, chances are you'll be hitting the sand this summer. WMBF reporter Erica Young joins us in the studio to tell us how you can be safe on the beach.
That's right, beaches everywhere are packed right now for the peak of the summer season, so it's important for everyone to know how to stay safe during the holiday season. I spoke with Lax Beach Service, which patrols portions of the Myrtle Beach coastline. They say they're preparing for the 4th of July just like they would any other weekend, with the anticipation of larger crowds and possible rip currents. According to our First Alert weather team, conditions on Wednesday could enhance the risk of rip currents, something the YMCA is teaching swimmers about with a rip current simulator. They showed me how strong a rip current is and just how hard it is to swim against it. Michelle Krenzer works in the YMCA's aquatics department and stresses the importance of educating young swimmers.
Don't take lifeguards for granted that they're there to watch your kids. Be attentive, watch your children, know where they're at, be that extra set of eyes. And if you find yourself in that rip current, if you know that the chances are high, maybe watch how far you're going in. If you find yourself in that rip current, don't fight it. Let it float yourself out to where you can feel it release swim parallel to the shore, and come back.
Tonight at 7, tune in to hear from an experienced swimmer about what it was like to swim through the Rip Current Simulator. Live in studio, Erica Young, WMBF News.
Every Friday, we introduce you to a public servant who is keeping Myrtle Beach safe.
For this First Responder Friday, meet Matthew Rice, canine handler with Horry County Fire Rescue. His job starts after the flames are put out.
Mainly I deal with people with, most of them are having a really, really bad day. Their house just burned down. So, we go out and we try to help these people as best we can. We help them pick up the pieces after their house burns, and we try to get them closure by telling them what happened and why.
Rice started as a paramedic in hopes of getting to where he is today. You'll hear more from Rice and why he wanted to work with the K-9 unit coming up on WMBF News at 7.
Myrtle Beach basketball fans will have a chance to train with a pro. Find out how you can join and sign up and join the fun. Myrtle Beach native and professional basketball player Raymond Sessions is giving back to the community that gave him a shot. WMBF reporter Matthew Cooper talked with Sessions about where he got his start.
After 11 years in the NBA, he's coming home to help others achieve their dream. Sessions started a camp to help kids improve on their basketball skills. He says his success started with the late Buddy Rogers, an iconic coach in Myrtle Beach whose wisdom stays with him today. Rogers would be 77 this year, which is why Sessions made the cost of the camp $77 to honor him. 7,000 points later, Sessions still remembers running around the same streets as more than 100 kids at his basketball camp.
Man, it's one of those things. When I got drafted in the NBA, I just knew this was something I always wanted to do, was come back to a community that did so much for me. And I just remember when I was a kid, I didn't have that kind of camp to go to in my hometown, and I know it just would have meant the world to me. So for me, it was a no-brainer.